Okay, as we can see, we are bullish on the daily chart. Our expectation is market will make a new higher high at this point because market is making higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now we are pull back and tap into a daily demand zone. So my expectation is we will make a new higher high at this point on daily. So overall we are bullish. On the 4 hour, my expectation is we will uh, tap into this PY before move up. We'll first tap there, run from here, or maybe we'll do this and run from there. The thing we have to figure out in some point that how market gonna move at this point. On the 15 minute, as the 4 hour expectation, market is making a pullback, bearish pullback, but it didn't respect this current supply zone over here. Now at this point we need to figure out that is this really is a break of structure, break of the supply. This supply is a strong one because it come from a flip. Let me show it come from a flip. That's quite a strong demand zone. Price tap make a quite a pullback. That's PY because what you're seeing over here, we are seeing trade to the downside, trade to the upside, and trade to the downside. That's a PY. On the lot time frame, it will represent a PY. Market have already swept that, and at this point, we need to figure out that is it a sweep or is it a break of structure. So what can we do? We'll simply look at this high and need to figure it out. Is it gonna hold or is it gonna blow through? Okay. If this high hold, we'll probably just look for a downtrend move. And if this high didn't hold, we'll look for looking for a trade to target this PY over to this one. That's a strong PY. Now on the 1 minute, we are seeing after sweeping that high, market make quite some demand zone, quite some internal range liquidity, but none of this zone had hold the market, and market just melt to a downside, and now we are going up. Now at this point we need to see who is in control. We can see overall and big candles are coming up. Maybe this high, if this high gone, I will look for an entry model to buy this market and target the high next supply zone. And if this high didn't fail, like this supply zone, if this zone didn't fail, if it's continue to hold and even continue to break, we'll eventually look for shutting the market. We are just gonna follow the market flow and narrative. At this point we can see who is in control. Maybe supply is in bit of control because we have taken all of the internal liquidity and market have melt. And now we have to see that is it a pullback on higher time perspective or it's just going to the downside indication. How can we approach that? We'll simply look at the market and see where is demand gonna take the control, supply is failing, something like that. If supply is keep holding, demand is keep failing, we'll just short the market. If this happened, we'll do that. This is our trading perspective, and how this is how we'll approach our day and move through our trading session. Now, hope you all have a good trading session.